Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Taiwo Benny, and once again, I want to welcome you guys to our podcast, Family, Faith, Finance, and Fitness. But today, we'll be having a series on family, and I have my guest here with me. Um, she's a business partner. She's also a colleague at work. I'm going to be interviewing her, asking her some questions, and promises to be an awesome interaction. So, Bose, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. T.
So good to have you on my platform today.
Thank you for this great
And I really hope that we're going to have a very interesting session.
I also hope so.
So I'll be asking you some questions around the subject of marriage.
Okay.
So, of course, I know you're married. So, Bose, can you tell us, for how long have you been married?
I've been married for 19 years plus.
19 years. Wow. That's very good. That's very good to know. And how old were you when you got married?
I was 21.
21. Wow. As a matter of fact, as you look now, I mean, anybody who sees you, an average man will think they are still in the market. Because you see, you look far better, more beautiful than an average 25-year-old today. So I mean, how has it been? How has marriage been? Has it been interesting? Has it been, really ups and downs?
Okay, let me come in here. There is no marriage that doesn't come with ups and downs. It's just how you have, what method you have devised to cope with it. So when I got married initially, it was not so easy. We always had issues of, we had a lot of differences in our background and everything. But over time, I begin to grow in the relationship. And over time, all those things I used to cause fight at that time we started the marriage, all of them are not there right now. We have become best friends. We have become like siblings. He has become like a father to me. So marriage keeps getting sweeter by the years. As the years go by, our marriage is refined and it is sweeter.
Awesome. Bosa is a medical lab scientist, by the way. She's so professional. And that's how I got to know her. Okay. Yes. You got married at the age of 21. That's amazing. 21. So I want to ask you, what led to you getting married at the age of 21? I mean, you because today I know lots of 21-year-olds are not ready. They're not even thinking about marriage at all. So I'm looking at your time. I'm sure you're a millennial. I'm also a millennial. Anyway, so I mean, you getting married at 21. What made you feel that you were ready at that time? Can you share with us the circumstances that led to that?
Okay, I might have gotten married at 21, but I felt I was matured enough to keep a marriage. In my own little way, I felt so. Because right from when I was 17, 18, I started investing in books.
Wow.
I started reading a lot of books. I have a lot of T.G. Jakes, like The Lady, Her Lover, and Her Lord. I do a lot of Stormy Omartan's Praying Woman, A Praying Wife. I do a lot of T.D. Jakes. I do a lot of Stormy Omartan. I do Catherine Kuhlman's books.
Wow.
So I have read a lot of books about marriage, but I was preparing myself for the big time when I get into the real marriage program. So I have gone through a phase. At that point, I was busy training myself on how to be married and how to stay married as well. Knowing that getting into it, I need to be mentally stable. I need to also be physically stable for it. So when I got married, though I was 21, I wasn't behaving like a 21 because I was ready for what I was about to enter. Even though the childish part of me still had a part to play in the whole thing. But because of all those books and all those things, and I was close to people that weren't my age, I had a lot of friends that were older than me. So I believe all these things work together to prepare me for what I entered into.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know why the question is so important to me? Yeah, so it has been scientifically proven that the average girl, it takes about 25 years for the brain of the average girl to be developed. Okay? So if at 21, you were ready, of course, I appreciate the fact that you said you had invested in books. So that means investing in books, investing in yourself, investing in your mind has a lot of role to play in getting you ready. Or maybe probably because, and I'm not saying this to shade the girls of today, there's a lot of social media today, Instagram, Facebook, so there's probably no much time to invest in books, invest in their minds. Okay, so that's by the way. So were you in the university when you met your husband? Were you through with school? Was your education fast?
I was in the university when I met my husband.
Okay.
So we got to know ourselves through a sister then,
Okay.
probably a cousin of mine. They were colleagues then back in the day. So when I got to know him, he was so eager hearing my voice to see the face behind the voice. And that was how the relationship started.
You were through school then?
No, I was in 300
Yeah.
level.
Wow.
I was in 300 level. So probably we got married a few months after that time. We didn't cut for a very long time. Actually.
You were still in the university when you
Yes,
got married?
I got married in the university.
And he was stable.
He was already working. He was not in his school. He has finished. He was already working.
What's the age gap between you and your husband?
Oh, my husband is 14 years older than me.
14 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So has that impacted your relationship in any way?
Initially, initially when I met him, I was calling him Uncle Mike until we became married and he became my hobby. In fact, from then till now, I still call him D, and that's the only name I have been calling, and I'm still calling him till now.
Wow.
So it has impacted in a lot of ways. When I got into the relationship, even with all my books and all my preparation, I still had this childish part of me that came to play at most times. And he'll sometimes, when I'm acting up, he'll be looking at me and I couldn't forget the day that I was just ranting. And he just got up and pinched my mouth and was like, shut up. Like when he did that, I knew that the whole thing turned to laughter. I was like,
Wow, that's interesting.
you've been ranting. And he just pinched my mouth and said, shut up, you this small girl that I'm married.
Yeah.
And the whole thing turned to play. Instead of being a fight, it became play. And that's how we resolve our issues at times.
That's interesting. I'm asking this because, I've had girls told me that they can't marry someone who is older than them, for much more than 5 years, some 6 years. Some feel like 7 years is too much. In fact, some feel like 6 years is a lot. So I used to be in a relationship where there was 6 year gap between us. And even with that, she was still like, that was a lot. So somebody told me specifically that in case of conflict, when they get to argue, so maybe the man shouts at her. So she wants someone that she'll be able to shout at home back. So if the age gap is not much, maybe just 2 years. When the guy is shouting, she can also shout back in return. So times when how are you guys able to navigate those conflicts? Although I think you already spoke to that. But were there times where you felt like because of the age difference between you guys, you were not free to express yourself as you wanted to?
Okay.
Has that ever been a challenge, a limitation?
Initially when we got married, there was this, the relationship grew over time. So when he shouts, I will be watching. I do a lot of watching, like what's happening. But over time, if he shouts, I shout back now. We have grown, we have become best friends. So if a friend shouts for a friend, the other friend will reciprocate by shouting back. So when he shouts, I reciprocate by shouting back.
I want to ask the next question. So who should like each other more? Should the wife love the man more? Or should the
every partner enters a relationship believing that the other person should love him or her more. So I believe my husband should love me more. I also believe he also believes in his mind that I should love him more.
Okay, so who likes each other the most? Do you like him more or he likes you more?
We love ourselves.
You love yourselves.
We like
mutual.
we love each other. We are very straightforward.
That's interesting. Because a lot of people have said today that the lady should like the man more. No, but what I've discovered is that ladies will say the man should love me more. Men will say the lady should love me more. The man should love me more.
That's exactly the same thing I say. That every other person says the
As that
other one
mindset.
should love.
So I think you are the only woman that has given me the most balanced perspective in that regard. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So yes, so it should be mutual. Okay, so then I also want to ask, do you do everything your husband says?
Not all the time.
Okay.
Not all the time.
And the times you don't know what he says, how does that make you feel?
Sometimes, if he says something and I don't want to do it, he will ask me what are your reasons. If I give my reasons and it's cogent enough, we'll be calm about it. Sometimes he doesn't agree, like, why won't you do it? Then I'll also give my cogent reasons about it. And if he sees reason with me, we'll be fine. Rather than, if he doesn't see reason with me, he might get angry that I said you should do this and you're not doing it. But over time, we'll come up with it. He will always come up.
And that's not affected your marriage in any way?
No, not at all.
Interesting. I'm enjoying this session. So I have just two more questions for you.
Alright.
Maybe three. So what's your love language?
Okay, my love
And in what way
language.
does your husband express love to you that makes you feel special?
My love
And
language
vice
is
versa.
my love language is majorly quality time. My number one is quality time. I enjoy quality time a lot. I also like good communication. And the third thing is I love gifts. So quality time, good communication, and gifts. So he always knows that when he offends, he knows how to get back to me. He knows that my own is just come back. So let's talk about it. Like I said earlier, communication is key to me. So when he comes back and we talk about it, we'll resolve it. And the way he does, by the time we talk about it, he ends it up with a gift. So I think that's what works for me. It might not be what works for another person.
So what makes you say yes to your husband? What were the things you were? Did you have spec? You know what they call spec? Do you have things you were looking at? And did the husband meet up with all those criteria? Or what were those things that made you say, okay, yes, I'm convinced that you are going to be my husband? So what was the game changer for you?
Okay, actually I had specs. I had my dream man in my mind, which he didn't meet the criteria.
Wow.
But the truth of the matter is that spiritually I was attracted to him. Then I had a conviction.
You mean he was a spiritual person?
No, he might not have been a very spiritual person when we met,
Okay.
but I had a conviction in my spirit that this is my husband.
Wow.
In fact, it was a very strong conviction. I had a very strong spiritual conviction that this was my husband, and I was trying to fight it, but it kept on coming, and I concluded that this is my husband. So I had a dream that people that I didn't know were with him, I saw them in the dream and they were still with him, like they were in his relation. But I saw them in dream, and God said to me, "That's your husband."
Wow.
So at that point, I said to myself, even when every other thing fails, this won't fail.
Wow. Wow. So that was enough for you. Even though
I went to my pastor at that point. I was in school. So I explained the dream to him. The dream was very clear. So by that time when I spoke to my pastor, he also confirmed what I had in my mind. So I believe he was the one.
wow, awesome. Awesome. And that was your first relationship? Have you had prior relationship?
Yeah, I had a prior relationship.
Awesome, awesome. So finally, I want to ask you, what's your advice? Okay, well, before we get to that, you have grown-up kids already.
Yeah.
And when I look at you, your kids are, in fact, some of them, you have two girls, right?
I have
Two girls.
3 girls.
3 girls. Wow. So how old is your eldest child?
She's 19.
19. Is she through school?
No, she's Yes.
So how do you feel growing up with your children? I mean, you know,
It's a whole lot of amazing. There are some ups, there are some downs, but it's an amazing experience.
how old were you when you had the first child?
I was 22.
So you started motherhood early. So I feel like that is so interesting. I mean, having a child at 22 and seeing the child grow, and I mean, it's so so interesting.
It's interesting and it's also very, very stressful. At that point, in fact, I had my first child. I was supposed to start my exams. So I had my child, the exams were postponed. So 1 week after my baby, I started my exams. It was a very stressful experience. When I just started having children, I remember there were times I had to, like, Lord, I just be crying, like, what's this? I can't cope, but God saw me through all those processes, and I had people around me that were also helping out with some of the things I had to do.
So in today's world, we advise young ladies to get married early, maybe 21, 22, 23. I have a lot of 24-year-olds, even 25. That I mean, what's it? They listing their mind down to marriage.
The thing about marriage is it's an individual thing. It's an individual thing, actually. Some people are actually 28, but they are not mature enough to take it. Some people are 20 and 21, but they have prepared themselves and are getting ready for it. So I also believe that this marriage thing is a thing of the mind. Because when you enter into marriage with a mindset of if it works fine, if it doesn't work. So we need to get matured, prepare ourselves before we get into it. No matter the age is just there. The right thing is to get prepared before entering into marriage.
So maturity is like a variable.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not about the age.
Wow, awesome. Thank you very much. So on the final notes, as we wrap up this session, can you just give us advice or maybe 3 factors of advice, abilities that make marriage work today? Looking at today's world, lots of divorce, lots of, I mean, what are those things that can make a marriage work? I mean, you have been in more than 19 years. I mean,
okay, there is no marriage that is perfect.
Okay.
One thing I know that there is no perfect marriage. Marriage is not a bed of roses. There are ups, there are downs. There are times that you cry, there are times that you smile. So what is my advice for everyone going into marriage is that just know that it's not going to be every day, it's not going to be laughing all the time. It's not going to be fun. There are times that people have to argue it out. There are times you have to fight it out. But one thing I have always done is that we don't allow any issue we have to stay till the next day. Whatever issue we have, before we sleep, while we lie down on that bed to sleep, we keep on talking about it. We might spend hours talking about it, but we resolve it that the next morning when we are waking up reconciled. So my advice to young ladies, younger females that right now that want to go into marriage is that they should all have the mindset of my marriage will work. So whatever happens, you try to make it work. Unless there is a physical abuse, that's the one I say you should not take as a young lady. But when there is no physical abuse and verbal abuses, just try and make it work. It's not going to be a bed of roses, but it will work. Put in all the effort and it will work.
Thank you so much. So you guys have an accountability. Some people are accountable for the marriage, the pastors, mentors.
Funny enough, we don't always allow third parties. It's only at extreme cases, which we've not had to do.
Thank you so much, Mrs. B. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us on the platform. I mean, it's a great honor to have you here. I really hope that everyone who listens to this would get impacted one or two by one of the things you said. I mean, looking at you, isn't she beautiful? I mean, so beautiful, so looking so gorgeous. And she's a professional. She has 4 kids, and she's still so sharp. I mean, and she's been married for close to 20 years or more. So I think that is so inspiring, and that was why I felt okay. I think we need to bring you here to share with us so we can learn, more of this. coming here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. T, for the privilege. I really appreciate it.
Till I see you guys next time, stay blessed.
Thank you.